media platforms that I'm multi-streaming on right now to make sure that you can hear me. Because I have had too many instances in my history, don't know about you, where I'm doing something like this, trying to share some knowledge or something I've learned or something super cool, and then just not being heard because of one reason or another. But I can hear me on that, so great. You must be able to hear me as well. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am really excited because when you know how to code, you create many more opportunities for yourself, not just in the job market or even as an entrepreneur if you decide to create a company out of it, right? But also in what you can accomplish in your own personal life because you can make your own automation, your own programs, whatever it is to make your life a little bit easier. So, in today's Prosperous Heart programming training, I'm going to share with you some cool projects that I've had the honor of being a part of and what others are doing in to make or rather what others are doing in the world to make it a happier and more fun place. So, again, welcome and thank you so much for sharing your time with me. Let me know where you're coming in from down below if you're watching this on a social media platform, or leave a comment on my blog if you're watching this over there. Thank you again for sharing your time with me. You could literally be anywhere else, so I appreciate it and appreciate you sharing your time and energy here with me. So be sure to tag someone if you feel they will get value from today's video. Now, whew, sorry, I'm a little excited. Before I dive into today's content, I wanted to let you know about my upcoming Python Basics Programming Bootcamp, now open for enrollment. It does close this Friday, just a few more days from now, because the first day is November 20th, which is this Saturday. Now, this bootcamp is totally for you if you're looking to dip your toe into the world of programming. Maybe you're looking for a career change, or you just want a chance to make the world a little bit better. Like Hazik Kazi, he's someone from India who, at just 11 years old, was able to create a prototype called Ervis, ERVIS. It's his invention to clean plastics from the ocean surface. Pretty neat, right? Now, if you're looking to have the tech broken down into easy to understand, bite-sized pieces, do head over to the URL that has been scrolling up here, processheart.com/python-bootcamp. Now, with all of the industries and opportunities available, you really should consider adding Python programming to your skill set today because, well, I've talked about this already, but it is literally everywhere. The job market is like, it's kind of hurting. You really should check it out. So, going back to the topic at hand today, in my time as a software developer, I've had the privilege of creating some really cool projects. Like when I worked at Cisco, right? I was there for about 7 years and worked on several different projects, but one of them was when I was actually a TAC engineer. I created an internal ticketing review system that would mostly do about four things. The first is that it would provide a visual representation of any engineer's backlog or team of engineers. It also created a report that could be sent at any given interval automatically or on command that would email management or whoever wanted the report with an analysis of the ticketing backlog for their team or a person. It would also alert requested personnel whenever an indication of a training issue was happening. So maybe there was something that was not being followed or following process and procedure, right? Maybe the SLA was hit or something, right? It can also alert management of potential customer escalations because based off of history, we were able to tell when certain things happened, we could expect potential escalation, right? So that was just one of them, right? But that was in my corporate America days. That's just one of those. Two of my favorite projects that I've worked on actually happened a little bit further back in my history. And both of them had much more potential impact than my corporate America projects. So the first of these that could have had potential widespread impact was when I created a chatbot interface to a smart home research facility that I was a part of while I was getting my computer science degree at TCU. Now, this was back in 2004, 2005. So this was like way before chatbots were a normalized term in marketing, potentially in corporate America, right? It was just at the beginning of artificial intelligence and creation of new ways to make digital interactions more virtual and automated. So it wasn't as fancy as something that I'm about to share with you today. The other project that came to mind when I thought of the project I'm about to share with you in just a moment is something that I also did while I was in school. So in one of the classes that I took, it was a collaboration of your software development skills and your hardware skills. And basically, it was with circuits. So we learned, the ors and ands and nots and actually using some of the hardware to do things. And one of those projects was to have a light turn on and off in Morse code. Now that sounds like just a little silly little thing, but if you think about it, Morse code is something that has been used for a long time. It's something that multiple people at this time probably know about. And so you could send messages by light, right? Especially for those who might be hearing impaired, or any number of really cool ways with which to do that. So both of those projects I told you about seem really simple, but could potentially have far reaching impact. And I was reminded of both of those recently when I was introduced to something called ILIC. So let me go ahead and share with you, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Let me go ahead and share with you what this looks like. So I'm going to share my screen. Ooh, not that screen. That screen. Okay, so ILIC, um, basically, it's a little companion robot that has personality and character, and it's just super, super cute, right? It has an emotional IQ part, or EQ, if you know what that is, that type of software with progressive hardware and machine learning. So as you can see, as you scroll down, you'll see that it's tech with heart. So you can see it has emotions, and as you interact with it, it learns. It has so many facial expressions, both physically and emotionally, right? It responds to touch. Oops, why aren't you scrolling? Hello. There we go. Oh, hello. It responds to touch, it responds to vibration. It's afraid of heights, right? It has so many different interactions, including this ability to help you with your daily work activities, right? So it's super cool. And one of the things I really like about it, aside from those things, is that once you put them together, they actually interact with each other. So you can have like a little party with these cute robots, right? It's so cool. And I thought it was so interesting. Now, it was originally shared on Kickstarter, and depending upon when you see this, it may be sold elsewhere. But regardless, I've seen so many neat and amazing feats of technology on Kickstarter and, whatever that other one is. But it reminds me how awesome you could do something like that, right? You could team up with a hardware developer or a software developer and create things like this to make the world a better place, to bring more joy, to solve more of the world's problems. So I just think it's so cool. And that opportunity is available to anyone who's willing to take the first step, learn a language like Python, and be persistent, right? I got my degree. I know that with 4 years, so much can happen, but I also know that people have a life. And you do not need to have a degree in order to learn this. You just have to do practice, 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 and get feedback from people who've been there and can help you, avoid pitfalls and all of that, right? The possibilities are endless when you know how to code. It's it's so fun and it's just wonderful. But you may be thinking, I don't have a degree, I'm not technical. As I said before, you don't need a degree. You can be totally successful. You just have to have a couple of things that I'll be sharing in my boot camp. And number two, programming can be easy. So my next Python Basics Bootcamp is starting November 20th. Doors close November 19th. Be sure to go to that URL right there if you want to snag a seat. In that bootcamp, I'm going to be breaking down the tech, that programming language, into easy to understand, bite-sized pieces so that you will get the education to begin building this new skill set. I'm going to also give you opportunities to implement what you learn and pe- receive feedback and a community to bounce ideas off of. So if you're ready to leverage my knowledge and experience to learn Python programming, be sure to head on over to that link, secure your spot. The bootcamp starts on the 20th. Remember, programming can be easy, and I look forward to showing you how. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful and prosperous rest of your day. Bye.